So you want to multiply and divide numbers in standard form. Alright, well, there's a few bits we might need to know first, so let's have a little look at this. 10 squared times 10 to the power of 3. Now if I were to write that out in full, what would that be? That would be 10 times 10 for 10 squared, and 10 times 10 times 10 for 10 cubed. And if I was multiplying all these together, how many 10s have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this here equals 10 to the power of 5. Can you see what's happened here with these powers? Okay, they've added together, haven't they? So if I've got 10 to the power of a number, let's say a, and I multiply this by 10 to the power of another number b, then what we end up with is 10 to the power of those two numbers added together. Okay, that's useful, that'll help us later on. We can do a similar thing for divisions. Okay, so if say I've got 10 to the power of 5 and I divide it by 10 to the power of 3, that's the same as this, isn't it? That's the same as having 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 10, right, 5, divided by 10 to the power of 3, 10 times 10 times 10. And what happens when we do this division? Well, we can simplify this fraction, can't we? So I could divide top and bottom by 10, divide top and bottom by 10, divide top and bottom by 10, and what am I left with? I'm actually left with just this bit here divided by 1, so that's 10 squared. So what happens when you do a division is that you have, so let's say you had something like 10 to the power of a, and you divide it by 10 to the power of b, what you end up with, okay, how did we get 2 from a 5 and a 3? We did 5, take away 3. So it's one of the numbers there, take away the one that you're dividing it by. Okay, little thing to know to help us. Right, other little bits to help us, just to sort of think about this. Okay, first of all, you know, don't you, that if you've got things multiplied together, these are all multiplied together, the order doesn't matter. Okay, multiplication is commutative. The order doesn't matter. So I could swap here. See what I've done here? I've swapped my B and my C round. Okay, that's fine. It's still going to give me the same answer. I'm allowed to do that. Okay, bear that in mind. Likewise, over here, imagine if I had something like this. These things times together divided by these things times together. I could write that as a fraction, couldn't I? This one divided by that one. And we know with fractions that we can break them up like this, okay? So I can do a divided by c, and then I can times it by b divided by d, and that's still the same. Okay, all these things are equivalent, they're all the same. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So we're ready to have a look at some examples. So let's have a look at this example here. So we said that the order of multiplication doesn't matter, does it? So I can change this around. I can do 3 times 5, and then I can times that by 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of 3. And I can do these bits separately. So I'll do this bit, and I'll do this bit separately. So what do we get? So 3 times 5 is 15. And 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of 3, remember we said that we add the powers, don't we? So we'll have 10 to the power of 7. Is that in standard form? I don't think it is it? Because this number needs to be a number between 1 and 10. So what we'll do is we'll make it 10 times smaller. And if we're making that one 10 times smaller, we need to make the other one 10 times bigger. So this will be our answer in standard form. And that's how you add. That's how you multiply them. Okay, right, let's have a look at division. So for this one we said that you can do 3 divided by 5, okay, and then times this one by 10 to the power of 4 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Okay, we're allowed to do that because of all these things that we said. Okay, in fact, shall I go through that more slowly? Let me go back and I'll show you more slowly for that one. Okay, so we're doing all of this divided by all of this. So 3 times 10 to the power of 4 divided by 5 times 10 to the power of 3. Okay, now we can split that up. I can do 3 divided by 5 and times it by 10 to the power of 4 over 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so if I'm doing this bit separately, then that's just going to give me what? 3/5. That's 0.6, isn't it? And if I do this bit, okay, remember we said that you can do one power take away the other, didn't we? When you've got stuff like that, 10 to the power of something divided by 10 to the power of something else, you take away the powers. So 4 take away 3 is 1, so this is times 10 to the power of 1. Okay, is this answer in standard form? It's not, is it? Because this number needs to be between 1 and 10. So what I could do is I could make it 10 times bigger. But if I make that number 10 times bigger, I need to make this one 10 times smaller. So this will now become 10 to the power of 0. Okay, and you'll know that 10 to the power of 0, hopefully, is 1. So the answer is just 6, but if I wanted my answer in standard form, this is what it needs to look like. Okay, so that's a quick look at multiplying and dividing numbers in standard form.
Joash Maths.